I want you to imagine something simple and real, a small hush before the world wakes, a thin line of light at the edge of the window, and the feeling that something kind and patient is waiting just beyond your eyelids. This is where our story begins, not with loud orders or harsh rules, but with the quiet, soft call of angels who know the worth of a single early morning. The angels do not shout, they do not push, they come close and speak in a tone that fits the stillness. Gentle, steady, full of love. They come to remind you of a truth that you already feel sometimes in your bones, but forget in the rush of the day. The morning is a gift, and waking early can change how your whole life moves. When you hear their voice, it sounds like a warm hand at your heart. It says, "Wake, my child. Come and walk with me for a little while before the world takes up its noise." And if you listen, you will find that the angels have a map that fits into those quiet hours. They will light small lamps along the way, not to frighten you, but to guide you gently into a day that belongs to you, not to your list of tasks. The angels understand how tired you are. They have watched you fight through late nights, worry, work, and loneliness. They do not blame. They only say, begin small, begin now. Take the morning that is waiting. At first, you might resist. Your body might want the soft comfort of the bed, the warm tie of sleep that keeps the world at bay. That is human, and the angels know it. They will not ask you to become someone else overnight. Instead, they tell you a story of tiny changes that plant roots and over time grow into trees. They tell you about a person who once lived in a house much like yours, who used to sleep late and chase time all day, always one step behind. The angels watched this person for months. They saw the heavy sighs, the missed chances to sit with loved ones, the hurried meals that were barely tasted. They waited patiently, the way angels wait, because compassion is patient. One morning, the person woke just before dawn, by chance at first, maybe because the heart was restless, or because a child or worry had stirred them. The silence surprised them. There was a coolness in the air that felt like a new shirt. They sat up, rubbed their eyes, and noticed the sky was not yet bright, but it was not completely dark either. The angels were there in that thin light. They did not appear as grand beings with loud trumpets. They came like neighborly friends, like the smell of bread, like the hush that falls over a garden. They folded close around that person and offered a simple invitation. Stay with us for 10 minutes. Breathe with us. Place one thought like a seed. Today I will try. The person laughed softly, unsure, but agreed. 10 minutes turned into 20. 20 turned into 30. A tiny ritual was born. It was never about perfection. It was about the quiet habit of meeting the morning. Each morning, the angels met that person there, and slowly things began to shift. The person found that the day felt less like a storm and more like a path. Decisions that had been heavy felt lighter. There was time to sit and breathe, to think without noise, to speak quietly a wish or a prayer. The person began to notice small miracles. A friend called at a good time. A problem that had seemed tangled unwound a little. A kind thought came easily. The angels smiled because they had known all along that the dawn is a place where hearts listen. They had known that the space before the rush gives room for the soul to remember what matters. This is not a story of instant change or magic that erases pain. This is a story about steady change, about choosing to receive the morning like a gift and letting the gift change the way you move through the day. The angels do not promise that every day will be easy, but they promise that your days will be clearer. When you rise early, you give yourself a margin. Margin means you can catch the small things. You can hold a warm cup and let it cool slowly, rather than gulping it down while you run to the next thing. You can listen to your own breath and shape your thoughts instead of chasing other people's demands. The angels teach that when your mind is quiet and your heart is open, you hear the small, true urgings, the ones that matter more than the urgent tasks. They call these true urgings because they come from the softer place inside you that knows who you truly are. Sometimes they sound like a whisper, telling you to be kind to yourself. Sometimes they are a clear nudge toward a person who needs your kindness. Once, the angels helped a weary mother who thought her life was only chores and school runs. She began to rise while the house still slept. In that hour, she wrapped a blanket around her shoulders, held her warm tea, and listened to the sound of a bird calling to the day. She did not fix anything big that hour. She simply breathed and imagined a small kindness she could show her child that day. That simple thought changed how she spoke at breakfast. The children noticed. They smiled wider. The small change grew and softened the whole household. This is the power of the early light. It makes small things possible. You may think your life is too crowded, your schedule too tight, your worries too loud. But angels remind you that you do not need long hours to set a new tone. Even 15 calm minutes can turn a tangled morning into a gentle opening. Start with the small thing you can do now. The angels will meet you there and carry the rest. They will take your single small action and surround it with blessing until it grows. In the quiet hour, the angels teach you how to speak to life differently. Instead of beginning with lists and complaints, you begin with thanks. You remember one good thing and speak it aloud. I am alive. I breathe. I am loved. Saying these words does not solve every problem, but it places you inside hope and makes you able to take the next step with steadier feet. The angels teach breathing as prayer. They show how a long, slow breath can rearrange your mind so you are not so easily pulled into panic. They know that panic eats away at clarity, and they want your mind to be clear. A clear mind sees the true shape of problems and recognizes small paths through them. You might be worried about the future, your health, your family, or money. The angels will not take these worries away with a wave. What they do is help you face them from a steadier place. Being early gives you that place. The angels teach that the morning is a time of alignment, aligning your heart with God, with goodness, with the steady beat of your own better instincts. Alignment does not mean perfection. It means choosing where to place your first thought of the day. Will it be a thought of blame, of fear, or a thought of possibility? The angels encourage you to choose possibility. When you rise early, you have the chance to plant a thought that will grow all day. Imagine planting a bright seed labeled I try, or I am kind, or today I will notice beauty Each breath waters that seed. Each small act through the day helps it grow. The angels are gardeners of the soul. They do not demand sudden change. They simply ask you to rise, to stay a little while, to accept their gentle instruction. You might worry that you will fail. You will sleep through your alarm. You will forget. You will fall back into old habits. The angels sit with that worry and hold it. They remind you that every attempt counts and every attempt is noticed. The one who tried yesterday is braver than the one who did not try. The angels celebrate attempts because they know how hard it can be to change a long habit. There is no condemnation, only encouragement. If you miss a morning, they say simply, "Try again tomorrow," and their voice is soft enough to make you want to try. The angels also ask you to be kind to your body. Rising early is not about punishing your sleep or forcing your body to obey a harsh command. It is about listening to your body and helping it find a rhythm that supports your soul. Sometimes this means going to bed a little earlier. Sometimes it means setting a small, gentle alarm and letting the sound be kind. The angels prefer a bell that hums like a stream rather than a harsh buzzer. They know music and rhythm can ease the moment of waking. If you are someone who must work late, the angels will help you find the small openings that already exist in your day. Maybe for you, rising early means getting up just a half hour before the house stirs. Maybe it means waking to see the first color of the sky from your window. The angels are careful to tailor their guidance to your life. They are not interested in one-size-fits-all rules. They are interested in your peace. Along with waking early, the angels teach a practice they call the first tending. This is not a long list of must-dos. The first tending is a simple habit. Give your first few minutes to something that feeds you. It could be a prayer, a whispered gratitude, a slow cup of tea, a short walk outside, or even a moment to tie your shoes and look at the sky. The key is to make the morning an act of care instead of a race. When you tend yourself first, you are able to tend others better. You will not pour from an empty cup. The angels know how easily we give away our care and forget to refill. They want you to learn to refill first, even briefly. This is not selfishness. It is stewardship of the person who will be present for the day. The angels also teach how to use the early hour to set an intention. This is not a heavy vow. It is a simple sentence you keep in your pocket all day. Like a worn stone, it could be as small as "I will listen," or "I will try to be gentle," or "I will look for one small kindness." That sentence does not lock your day into a grand plan. It simply points your heart. When the stress comes, you will remember the sentence, and that memory will help you steer back toward kindness. Another truth the angels want you to know is that waking early helps you hear clearer guidance. Many of us carry the noise of others, opinions, worries, advertisements, demands. In the dawn, the noise is softer, and your quiet voice can be heard more easily. That quiet voice is often wiser than the loudest voice. The angels will whisper things that are not dramatic, but are true. Ideas for small changes in your work, a kind word to speak, a phone call to make. When you live by the dawn, you notice opportunities that might have been missed in the bustle. You begin to recognize gentle nudges as guidance, and you follow them one small step at a time. There will be mornings when grief sits heavy on your chest. There will be mornings when your hands shake and the future seems like a shadow. The angels do not promise endless sunshine. They promise a presence. They promise to sit with you in your sorrow. They promise to hold your hand and walk by your side through the gray days. Waking early does not replace grief. It gives you a steady place to feel it, to breathe through it, and to let it soften without being consumed by it. When the heart is overwhelmed, the angels remind you to keep the morning very simple. Breathe. Hold the thought that you are loved, and let one small caring act be enough for the day. Often people ask, what if I try and nothing changes? The angels answer with their favorite word, consistency. The smallest repeated action over time becomes strong. It is like the way light from the sun creeps across a room. A little each day, and soon the whole space is lit. If you wake early and do nothing grand, but you do it again and again, you are building a foundation. From that foundation, larger things can be built. The angels have seen this in thousands of lives. They have seen timid acts become bold steps. They have watched a single sentence of intention lead to years of steady growth. They do not rush the process. They are patient, as only love can be patient. They will walk with you through the small beginnings and celebrate each forward move. There is also a practical kindness in rising early. Mornings are a time when your mind is less scattered and more creative. Artists, leaders, healers, and caretakers have all discovered that quiet hours feed thinking and creativity. In the peace of the dawn, you will find solutions that elude you in the frenzy of the noon. You will have time to breathe before you respond. We will have room to plan so that you do not simply react. The angels love the creative moments that come from calm minds. They will stand near you as thoughts form and will keep watch while you try them out. You do not have to perform perfectly. The angels will help you practice until your steps feel confident. As your mornings change, your nights will follow. You will fall asleep sooner because your day felt purposeful and calm. Sleep will no longer be an escape from overwhelm, but a quiet rest that supports you for a new morning. The angels know that life is a dance between wake and sleep, between giving and receiving. When one part is honored, the other follows more easily. You may worry about being judged for your new routine. Friends or coworkers might not understand why you choose an early hour for yourself. You may fear being seen as overly spiritual or strange. The angels remind you that real change is for your life, not for other people's opinions. If you wish, you can share the gift with others gently, as an invitation rather than a sermon. Sometimes people will be curious and join you. Other times they will watch and be quietly inspired. The angels teach patience in matters of witnessing. They know that the example is a powerful teacher over time. There is one last gift the angels want to give you through the morning. The chance to remember what matters. In the rush of daily tasks, it is easy to forget your own heart. Waking early gives you a doorway back into yourself. In that hour, you are more likely to remember love, meaning, and the gentle goals that really move you. You might remember an old dream, or a promise you made to someone, or an act of courage you once took. The angels will whisper your true name and remind you who you are beyond the noise. This is the deepest reason they encourage you to rise early. Not to add another item to your to-do list, but to reconnect you to the source of your strength and to the simple things that feed you. So, beloved, the angels ask again, will you try? Will you give them one small morning? Begin with gentleness. Set a kind alarm. Make your first act of the day a soft one, and speak a short sentence of intention. Let the angels meet you there and let them take you by the hand. If you fall, do not harden your heart. Stand up the next morning and try again. Each dawn is a new chance, a fresh page, and the angels are always waiting with ink and patient love. They do not require perfection. They only ask for your presence. When you accept, life will not change because of an overnight miracle, but because of the loving accumulation of small mornings. The small mornings will add up to clearer thoughts, kinder speech, calmer hands, and a life that feels like it belongs to you. The world will not always be easy, but you will stand stronger within it. The angels will continue to walk with you, not far away, but close enough to feel their warmth at your back. When you need courage and close enough to lift you when you are weary. They will remind you that each sunrise is a gentle promise that you can start again. In your quiet hour, they will give you guidance, and in the day, you will show it by small acts of care. That is the prayer they teach. Let your life be guided by small, steady light. And so, with a soft voice that does not shame, with a patience that breathes hope, the angels send you this message. Wake up early. Start your day right. Let your mornings be an offering to your own heart. Let them be a place where you become who you are meant to be, one gentle step at a time. Rise and know you are beloved. Rise and know that an angel walks beside you. Rise and meet the day with the small courage of a single breath.